How do you think music influenced your life as a child and adolescent?
Well, as I say, it was more like I really liked like the popular music. When I was an adolescent, I had a cyst, an ovaric cyst removed, and I was in a lot of pain. So I remember that as a very spoiled person, because I was very, very egocentric, I was at the hospital and I was in a lot of pain. I would not talk to anybody except for my brother when he walked in one day with a Walkman back in those days. And he just walked in my room and he just placed these headphones in my ears and played some Bach classical music. And I remember that was like a miraculous thing because I just really focused on the music and my pain just left.
What records did you listen to? Who is your favorite recording artist? What record player did you have? Was it in your home?
Oh, music. Well, music has always been my main interest. I remember going from long plays, vinyl, to CDs, and no, it was from long plays to cassettes. You know, the Sony Walkmans to CDs.
When I was a child, I think I listened to the same music that most children did.
Which was?
Los pollitos dicen piu piu piu. That was in my early childhood. And in my adolescence, I started to admire Peruvian music, and I was getting aware of it. Well, I remember my husband and I buying a collection of classical records that each record would come to cost something like $2.70.
How do you think that your kids experienced music or sound recordings different than you did while you were growing up?
Well, I believe that music is beautiful, but I also believe that music has its place. And I believe that there is a place for music and there's a place for silence, and it's really nice to just not have any kind of input because we need to process whatever we're going through in our lives, our experiences and stuff. And so I feel that our generation is saturated with music, and versus my times when I wasn't listening to music all the time. So that's my opinion.
Both with different types of music, not only Peruvian music or classical music, but American and the different music that came with the times.
What do you remember about your experiences with radio?
Radio is something that I still listen to. I like radio.
Well, radio was always used, more so then than now. When transistor radios came into play, of course, no one remembers now when transistors came into play. Well, it was a big move to have something small. But to me, I was more into getting my own type of music and records.
But so operas not with images, but reading the scripts, that was on the radio, and that was quite an entertainment for the families.
Our family, like listening to the radio, we were played in the living room while I was young, and my mom would choose these, songs, and they were very Peruvian, and they were waltz, and they were, not salsa, because salsa is when you listen to that music, you have to dance. And did I hear radio by myself? No.
I was born before TV, and we had the radio as the only entertainment.
Okay, so do you remember, what was it like when TV first became available?
Well, I really couldn't believe what I was looking at when the first time I was exposed to TV. I wonder where did these images came from, etc.
Available your whole life?
Yes, it was. But again, being raised in a third world country, I was We started with the black and white. I do remember, the little round helmet-like TVs, and I do remember having only 3 channels, 4, 5, and 2. And I do remember when my country went through a socialist movement in the 70s, having a revolution through the TV where you wouldn't hear much Spanish, but more Quechua, the indigenous language.
Experience when you were.
Okay, now we're moving. Yeah, now we're talking about some drastic and traumatic change. Because I come from and my sister, we come from the black and white TV. And I remember very clear when I started seeing color TV. We weren't one of the first families to get a color TV. It's been 14 or so.
Okay. What types of things were on TV back in the day?
Well, TV has changed a lot. I mean, one is the definition of TV has definitely changed. Two, the type of programs, series.
How did the TV change your home life?
Okay. So the TV was a connection of this country of Peru with America. So I remember watching My Little Genie, and then I remember watching Bewitched. Those were my favorite. And there was not like more than one TV at the house. So we watched a lot of shows as a family. So that was pretty cool.
Okay. How do you think they experienced TV differently than you did?
Well, one thing that I really do not like until this day, I don't like, is that TV was a family. And I'm gonna cry because that gets me really emotional. TV was a family thing. And so back in those days, I would be with my sister. I would share with my mom. Oh,
We would share the experience of watching. Our parents would say something about the program, and then they would ask us, do you like it? Or didn't like it. But
and it's not possible to have, a family time, and it's created a lot of so much tension that I guess doesn't happen. And TV is not dependent on an artifact that we have to just sit at the same place because the children get their laptops and whatever. They go to the room, they get their cell phones, they get into the shows that they want, and it's totally separate. I feel like I'm in the same roof, but I'm not sharing anything. So movies, movies, we used to go to the movies with my family, and but I remember more friends. Movies today have a lot of, again, going back to the same subject, they're very infused by violence, and they're very infused by sex. You
Very much remember, the classics, Ben-Hur. Oh, what a movie. I saw it like, 4 or 5 times. Movies have always had a big impact. Never became too much into movies. Again, I want to see more movies, but I think there's always been those movies that kind of, and I think there used to be less before, now there's more.
That's
Thank you
it?
so much.
Oh no, I wanted to keep going.